All traces of Harry and Meghan have been removed from the Queen's Commonwealth Trust website. It's official, Harry and Meghan no longer hold the positions of president and vice president of the trust. Deservedly so, because how do you sit on a Netflix documentary co-signing the notion that the Commonwealth is the Empire 2.0 and expect to still chair the trust? Mind you, the position of vice president was specially created for Meghan Markle. This is another example of them wanting to have their cake and eat it too, because they wanted to keep the president and vice president titles while allowing a negative narrative of that very organization or trust to be perpetuated. I've been doing some thinking, and I've got some great stuff to share with you regarding this. If you're in business or interested in starting a business, I think this video will be of particular interest to you. But everyone's welcome in the club, so stick around and let's get into it. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Start Club. We're helping you with all the tools that you need to succeed in life. Subscribe now and join the club. Throughout this whole situation, one thing that Harry and Meghan failed to do is to validate their business. I'm going to explain a bit about what business validation is, and then I'll show you how Harry and Meghan failed to validate their business. Before you go spending money on an idea that is not proven, you need to validate it. Before you give up on an idea that you walked into, you need to validate it. Business validation is simply testing your idea against the market before you throw all your eggs into that basket. In the process of business validation, there are a few things to always keep in mind, and I'm going to tell you what those things are. Number one, go lean. Make sure to not be cost intensive until the idea is tested and proven. Start with what you have and with what's around you until the idea gets to the point of sustaining itself. Number two, the idea has to meet a need. Just because something worked for someone doesn't mean that that same idea will work for you in your particular community. Do you resonate with it on a level that makes you excited to get up and work for it? Will you be comfortable sharing pieces or information about this idea or product if you had to? Number three, the idea has to be replicable. In order for the business to be effectively validated, the idea should be something you can easily replicate and create a seamless workflow for. Number four, focus on one idea at a time. I'll say that a general rule of thumb will be to give about at least 3 months to see the trends of one idea before moving on to another. Give all your energy for 3 months before jumping to another idea. And what you will find at the end of the 3 months is that perhaps you don't need a second side hustle, that this one hustle that you have is really enough. After the 3 months, after giving it all you have, you're going to realize that, okay, this is a good time for me to go all in with this idea. You might also find after the 3 months that you like the result of your validation so much that you begin a replica side hustle as the initial one you started. For example, you start a side hustle making candles and selling those candles online. After the 3 months, you begin to see certain trends that really make you feel like, okay, this is something that I should really spend more time and energy on. And what ends up happening is rather than starting another completely different idea because you like the results of your validation so much, you start a second candle business. And so now you have candle business blue, and then you have candle business pink. So you have 2 streams of income, but they're all within the same field. And candle business blue serves a particular demographic, and candle business pink serves another demographic. But the difference is that you gave yourself enough time to validate the business, to know what works and what doesn't work. And so now when you take time and try to put that same knowledge into a second stream of the same idea, you're going to see the second stream pick up a lot faster than the first stream did, because now you have knowledge, you have understanding, because you took the time to validate the business. In Harry's case, this is where I believe he failed to validate their business. We have established that the business of Harry and Meghan is them. Their public profiles are their bread and butter. From the start of Megxit till now, they have both moved from one form of public profile to another. In the beginning, Meghan moved from the profile of entertainment to that of an ambassador, and now Harry has moved from the profile of an ambassador to that of entertainment. At this current point, they are both public figures in the entertainment space. When they made this Megxit transition, they did so under the impression that they would also be private ambassadors of something, I guess compassion. So they set up a foundation and all the businesses connecting with other organizations trying to be a royal family 2.0 in the United States without the capacity for workflow and systems, which resulted in them losing employees all the time. And then this whole thing about the missing $10 million. They are in two different public spaces, but it seems to me that they look at both spaces as one. It's like a pop artist deciding to run for office one day. They're both public profiles, but they require different decorums, different systems, and a very different marketing strategy. I believe that the queen knew this because the queen is very smart. She is an older woman. She has lived. She has seen prime ministers come and go. She has seen presidents come and go. She's seen it all. And because she knew this is why she said no to their half in, half out proposal. Because what it takes to represent a country is different than what it takes to represent yourself. Could you just imagine what half in, half out could have looked like? Harry and Meghan going around the Commonwealth on royal assignment in tandem with putting out documentaries that call the Commonwealth the EMPIRE 2.0. In their case, business validation will tell them to wait because they didn't even know what they were doing. Although Harry worked as an ambassador, he didn't know the nitty-gritty of what it took to run the firm. It's like being in a studio when a song is being made. You can come out of the studio session and talk about how you saw the drummer go into the recording booth and you saw the producer pushing some buttons, etc., etc. That is your experience, and it is true. But if you were to speak to the producer of this track, he will explain it from a whole different perspective. He will talk to you about the technicalities, the plugins that he had to use, the files that he had to crop, the fact that he was still working when you fell asleep during mid-session. The same situation, but different experience. So now that Harry and Meghan are private ambassadors of compassion, while also being entertainers, even though they might not agree to the fact that they are entertainers, Harry doesn't have the technical experience to run an organization like Archwell. And I highly suspect that Harry looks to Meghan as the one to steer their ship in the entertainment space because to him, she's this great actress who had a show, so she must know how to deal with this stuff. And so if Harry and Meghan had taken business validation into account, because again, we've established their business is them. So they're stepping out from one public profile into another public profile. So they're essentially moving from one business to another business. If they had taken that into consideration, business validation will take stock of what's in front of you and then allow what's in front of you to determine where to go next. And this is for the sake of example. So when they initially left England to move to North America, they had the popularity, the majority public support, it seemed, and the secretly signed Netflix and Spotify deal, allegedly. So that's what they had in front of them. Business validation would say, you take the first step with what you have in front of you, put that out into the world and see what comes back. The results of that first step will let you know what next steps to take. And because this is a process of business validation, when there are any windfalls in the first step, you can always step back, reassess the situation, fix errors, and jump right back in. Harry and Meghan, however, they tried to do it all at once. They tried to do it all at the same time with very minimal systems and capacity to support what they wanted. And so when the windfalls came, it created a balloon effect and blew everything up from the inside. Had they taken their time, validated their business would have told them what to do and who they are and what they are about. Because I don't think they themselves know. They're still trying to figure it out, but they're trying to figure it out with the mindset or perspective that they're experienced just because they were around a thing. Just because they were around ambassadorship, the royal family, they feel I can go ahead and run an organization and try to be an ambassador to represent change and compassion. But I don't have what it takes. I don't have capacity. I don't have systems. I don't have staff. I don't have income. I don't have what it takes to do that. So if we were to bring it home, you and I, just say you and I, a best way to put it is you might be really excited about a business that you're starting, but do you really need to order 100,000 individual products of inventory just because your first batch of 500 sold out in 2 months? All right, everybody, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you with something. I am so glad to have you all as part of my community. As always, this is Monday Start Club. Please like this video and subscribe. It will mean a lot to me, and I will see you in the next video.